At the end of the year or the start of a new year, it can be hard to figure out what designs you should be creating for your print-on-demand business. So in this video, we're going to take a look at New Year's resolution themed designs. One of the reasons why I like to focus on New Year's resolution themed designs or designs based on New Year's resolutions is because it lasts a little bit longer. These niches last a little bit longer into the year than a New Year's Eve themed design. I've personally never been a huge fan of creating New Year's Eve themed designs because the window for them to sell is just so short. A lot of people spend most of the month of December focusing on buying gifts rather than shopping for New Year's Eve themed designs. And then of course, after New Year's Eve, nobody wants a New Year's Eve themed design. So the window for selling those designs has always seemed really, really short and almost not worth the effort in my opinion. Of course, I'm not saying don't make any New Year's Eve themed designs, that's perfectly fine, but I personally like to spend a little bit more of my time focusing on niches that are based on New Year's resolutions because they tend to sell farther into January. And one of them in particular actually can sell all year long, and you'll just see a bit of a spike in sales in the month of January. So of course, the one I'm talking about that you probably already thought of yourself is fitness or exercise, so your gym-themed designs. There's a couple different directions you can go with this, but if you want to come up with some other ideas or you're just not sure where to start, I like to take advantage of AI technology for these types of things. So for example, ChatGPT is a great jumping off point, not to get your specific design that you're going to make necessarily, but to just get the ball rolling. So for example, I just put a prompt in a ChatGPT of give me a list of possible New Year's resolutions. So there's no guarantee that any of these are going to be a good fit for making a print-on-demand design, but if you just go through a list here of possible New Year's resolutions, you will start to see some things that could lend themselves to a design. And of course, the first one is exercising regularly. So that's the one we're going to talk about a little bit first. But as you can see, there's a lot of ideas here. Some of these actually would probably make pretty good designs. But of course, we would need to translate these New Year's resolutions into possible niches or design themes. One of the ways that I like to go about then taking that a step further is to use an AI quote generator, and you can do this in a couple different platforms. If you use Kittl for your designs, Kittl also has an AI quote generator to give you the text basically that you would put in your design. And if you use Vexels for graphics, they also have an AI quote generator. They're becoming more popular as far as like an add-on service to a lot of the print-on-demand graphics services. And I like to use them to come up with, again, just going a little bit further in identifying what I want to try and possibly design. So for example, let's start with the exercise one. So the first step is to pick a niche, and I don't see fitness here. I see yoga here, but I don't see fitness. So I'm going to go and put my own at the bottom here. So I'm going to say fitness for my niche and then click continue. And then I'm going to select a mood, and I'm going to pick motivational here. And I'm going to keep the length short, 2 to 4 words, and we'll just click on generate quotes. Now this has generated some ideas for what we can use as the text in our design. So you'll see fuel your fire, sweat, smile, repeat. That's one I might want to check out. Find your strength is a good one. Push your limits is a good one. Own your journey is a good one. So basically just take note of ones you want to take a look at, and that's what we want to do a little bit more research on. And of course we could regenerate this if we didn't see anything that we liked, but I'm going to start with sweat, smile, repeat. So now I'm going to come over to Etsy and I'm going to put in sweat, smile, repeat. I'm not going to put any particular product in my keyword search yet. I just want to see what comes up. And right now it looks like I'm getting 1,961 search results. So that's actually pretty low competition. That's good. That's a good starting point. And what we're seeing here is a lot of text-based designs with very minimal graphic elements. There's a little bit of graphic element in that one up there. And some of these don't even actually apply to the niche. You'll see some of these are just smiley faces. They're not even related to working out or going to the gym or anything like that. I'm seeing some opportunity here for a sweat, smile, repeat design that looks a little bit different than what we see in the search results, maybe has a little bit of a graphic element in it as well. Now, as far as competition goes, I like what I'm seeing here. If I wanted to do additional research here, I could always pop open my Everbee Chrome extension. On the left here, I could take a look at product analytics and just get some analytics on the products that showed up in those search results. Now we could sort this by average monthly sales to see if any are regularly selling that are related to this niche. But one thing I would say, as far as New Year's resolution themed designs, now with gym themed ones, they could sell all year, but I would say when you're researching possible niches or possible design ideas for New Year's resolutions. It don't necessarily hinge everything on the average monthly sales if you use a tool like Everbee, because sometimes these niches really only sell in the month of January or February, and that can throw off the calculation of average monthly sales. So don't necessarily be discouraged if you run some analytics on a search phrase and you're not seeing super high sales volume. And I would say the same thing about keyword search results. So something like sweat, smile, repeat is not specific to a New Year's resolution. It shouldn't only sell in January, but when you're looking at things like average search volume, don't necessarily expect to see a gigantic volume here, because these tools like Everbee or Sales Samurai are going to be looking at the recent history. So they're going to be looking at the past few months, possibly 30 or 60 days even. If it's not something that's been searched for a lot really recently, what they're projecting for the average search volume, again, don't necessarily have to rely entirely on that. So to come up with a quick design for this one, I like to use Kittle for my t-shirt designs. I find it really quick and easy, especially with all their templates. So I just put in gym. I could put in a lot of different keywords to find templates to start with, but I just put in gym as a starting point here to see if I could find anything. And I already see several here that I could go with as far as making my t-shirt design. For example, the elements in this, even though this is like almost like a business card or a logo, the way that this text is in between these dumbbell weights, I could absolutely just put sweat, smile, repeat in there, get rid of everything else and make that my t-shirt design. And that would be one version of the design already done. Another thing I want to point out about fitness-related niches is there are just so many different versions that you can make. For example, I've now changed my search here to weightlifting because I want to find a design that is more specific to weightlifting or bodybuilding, something like that. For example, this one here is more of a graphic based on bodybuilding or weightlifting, so I could do a sweat, smile, repeat with this type of a design. Or here is another template that looks pretty good. I could very easily do a sweat, smile, repeat using this very simple weightlifting graphic as well. Or for example, I could make this one about running. Maybe somebody is going to be basically just running to get into shape. You could come up with a design that is, running themed for your t-shirt instead and do sweat, smile, repeat with some type of a running graphic on it. So you get the point. You can very easily come up with multiple different versions of a design just using a single text phrase. And then of course you can make all of those designs and then swap the text phrase out to something else and have a whole new set of designs. And before you know it, you've got, 20, 30 new listings that you can create. And of course, after you create all of those design variations, you want to take a look at the additional keywords to use for your tags, possibly in your title as well. So for example, for that one that was more focused on weightlifting, I would want to check some keywords like weightlifting shirt and see, what's the competition, what's the search volume for phrases like that, because those are the related words that would go in my tags and possibly my title and also my description just for that weightlifting focus design. So of course, you want to add the relevant keyword tags to your listings for each variation of the design that you make. Now let's just look back at our original list of potential New Year's resolutions and see one other possible idea to create some new designs. And this one is also one that could sell at any time of year, but probably we'll see a little bit of a spike around the New Year's resolution time of year in January. And that would be anything that is around positivity or gratitude. So for example, number 14 on the list here was practice gratitude by keeping a gratitude journal or expressing thanks daily. So I'm not going to use that exact phrasing for my t-shirt design, but gratitude is what I'm going to kind of zone in on. And you can expand from that into positivity, thankfulness, whatever keywords you want to use. But I'm going to take a look at that one and generate some phrases for potential designs based on that. So if we come back to Kittle's AI quote generator here, I'm going to put gratitude as the niche at the bottom here. So we'll type that in and hit continue, and then we will put maybe motivational or actually, I'm going to do inspirational on this one. And again, I'm going to keep it to 2 to 4 words. All right, so here's some starting points for possible gratitude themed designs. We have gratitude fuels life, live in gratitude, gratitude changes everything. Give thanks daily is a good one that doesn't include the word gratitude, but a variation there. Gratitude is power and gratitude my superpower might be good ones to check into. So pick your favorite out of here and then do a little bit more research to see whether it's one we want to go ahead with. Now I searched for gratitude is power shirt this time, and it only came up with 733 results here. And of course, not all of these actually say that. We've got, I actually see a couple that are gratitude my superpower. So maybe we want to check that one out. Maybe we want to make both and see how they both do. And now if we expand that out, the phrase gratitude shirt by itself has 7,800 search results, and we're going to see some more general results here in the designs. So there's a lot of different possible keywords we could go with here, and we could take the research on that further by using one of our Chrome extensions, either Sales Samurai or Everbee, to find additional tags. Now, this is a niche that can actually be a little bit more difficult to find a template for as a starting point, because it may not have, a template already. So I'm going to try it. We'll put in the word here, gratitude, and see what we come up with. Chances are the results we're going to see are more stationary, like thank you cards or journal templates, things like that. And that's exactly what we see here. And so sometimes with these types of themes, it's a little bit more difficult to find a template to start with. So instead, I searched for positivity, and now we're getting some more t-shirt style designs that we could go with. For example, here's a great one that's got kind of that retro groovy look that's been popular for about the last year or two. And this is a good one where I think I could just edit this text to one of those phrases we found. So gratitude, my superpower, or gratitude is power, I think would be great to go with this template. So sometimes you just need to change the keywords you're searching for with templates, and you'll be able to find one maybe with a related but different keyword than what your phrase is actually going to be. So just for example, that's how quick we could get a design out there for a gratitude is power themed t-shirt. And of course, these can certainly go on mugs, sweatshirts, and hoodies as well, just as easily. Even tote bags, I think this design would be great for. All right, so let's just summarize the process for this, and then we'll wrap up this video. So if you're not sure where to start with New Year's resolution themed designs, use an AI tool to get the ball rolling. It's as simple as going to ChatGPT and entering a basic prompt of give me a list of New Year's resolutions. Look through that list for resolutions that could have very simple phrases associated with them, and then use another AI tool to generate quotes that might be good for t-shirts. And two of my favorites are the Kittle AI quote generator and the Vexels AI quote generator, but there are others out there depending on what service you use. Once you've identified a couple of potential phrases that might be good for t-shirts, run a couple of quick Etsy searches to see if there's competition for them already. Potentially, if there's demand for them, use your research tools, Everbee, Sales Samurai, whichever tool you use, and then use your design resource of choice to look for either templates or existing graphics that you can easily create multiple design variations with. Now, not every resolution is going to have the potential to create quite so many design variations as the two that we looked at today, but there's certainly more than just these two, and you could quickly and easily create a lot of different design variations. And it also will help you if you can identify some of these niches that could be New Year's resolutions, but also are general enough that they could sell at any time of year. So that'll do it for this video. I hope this has helped you get the ball rolling on some early beginning of year designs for you to start off your 2024. Let me know down in the comments if you have any questions. And if you have any ideas you'd like to share with everybody, feel free to put those down in the comments as well. Thanks, everybody. See you next time.